ahead of the start. We hope it's the third time round that they get the start at the first time of asking. Ben Cooper, not just the reigning world number one, but 3 times a Rotax world number one. Patrick Pearce, always, always, always up at the front when it counts in DD2. Kasendaruva possibly coming into this as the driver in the most form. If Ben Cooper's fans in Canada are tuned in, and we hope so, we'll just say hi to Michelle and Richard Boisclair, because they're friends of mine as well as being relatives of Ben, and his mum, Sharon, and Ben Sr. Sharon and Ben, hope you tuned in. Your boy was looking good. There's no question about it. But it's a tough field that he heads. But then he's got as great a chance as anyone. Tashina and Brian in Perth in Western Australia. Sean Babington starts on the inside of row 4 in cart 638. Ben Cooper is on pole position, and Paddy Pearce, who's closest to the foot of your screen at the moment, joining him on the front row. Kasendaruva, Barry Pullinger, row 2. Andreas Bachmann, Mika Laiho, row 3. Sean Babington, Pascal Marshall, row 4. Kevin Ludi, Seamus Udavicius, row 5. 16 laps, the race distance for the DD2 final, incorporating also the DD2 Masters final. Do we get a first timer? We hope so. And we are racing, and Ben Cooper gets a good start, so does Sendaruva from the outside of the front row. Patrick Pearce has gone really cleanly across. Barry Pullinger also a nice start in 4th place. But Ben Cooper on the Litchfield bridge for the first time of 16, being pursued by Sendaruva. Sendaruva already bidding to take the lead and does so. Sendaruva taking the lead. Patrick Pearce going through in 2nd place. Pole sitter Ben Cooper just putting a couple of wheels onto the red rumble strips, but in 3rd place, and those front running 3 pulling away a little bit, and Patrick Pearce looking very, very urgent, trying to find a way past Sendaruva. Sendaruva from Antwerpen in Belgium, been in university in Spain, in the south of Spain at Ronda. Right now is at PF International Kart Race and is leading the DD2 final as we come out to complete the opening lap. Paddy Pearce still 2nd, Ben Cooper still 3rd, and they're pulling away a little bit from the chasing pack. It's Mika Laiho in 4th place, Barry Pullinger in 5th place, Sean Babington in 6th, and Ben Cooper getting very, very close now to Patrick Pearce. Paddy Pearce looking to take the lead. Oh, that's all 3 side by side. The advantage should be with Mika Laiho, but coming through from 4th place with Mika Laiho in 4th place. So he's now looking to bid for a lead from Sendaruva and does so. So the surprise leader is Mika Laiho. Mika Laiho going out, and was that Sendaruva getting a nudge? If that was Sendaruva, that's a disaster for the championship leader. But Mika Laiho getting himself in an early lead that was unexpected. Coming round to complete the 2nd lap. Mika Laiho 1, Sean Babington bidding to take the lead now. Paddy Pearce 3, Andreas Bachmann 4. Confirmation of that mini disaster that's taken Ben Cooper down to 7th, just behind Kevin Ludi. And for Kasendaruva, Well, it's worse still. He's out of the top 20 in 22nd place. The new order, Mika Laiho, Sean Babington, Patrick Pearce. Patrick Pearce going back into third place. It's very tight. Barry Pullinger in the mix. Well, Paddy Pearce at the moment is in third place, but is a fair little bit detached from Sean Babington and Mika Laiho. Have to say that we had literally, we commentators can be guilty of exaggerating, but 3 side by side, something had to give, and unfortunately it didn't give in favour of Zendarua, didn't particularly give in favour of Ben Cooper. Ben Cooper up a place to 6th, Andreas Bachmann dropping down to 8th. This is lap 4. Over the Litchfield Bridge, down the grade, and Sean Babington kicking on a little bit. Half a second advantage. Mika Laiho about 6 kart lengths behind. And going up from 6th to 5th, I think that was Seamus Judavicius. Kart 6 to 8, Ben Cooper there, 663 Seamus Judavicius. Well, Ben Cooper steadying the ship. He's just behind Kevin Ludi, or was behind him moments ago, in fact still is. Kevin Ludi, who's not had a good weekend so far at the quarter race distance, is going to be in the top 5 in the DD2 final, so things looking up for him. Seamus Judavicius has not been particularly shining, but he's in the top 10 at the quarter race distance. He's 8th. Alexander Finkelstein, who was disqualified from the heats, had to start them all last. He's 10th in the final at the quarter race distance. Matthias Dettige is out of the top 10 in 11th place. In the Masters, it's the lady, Tamsin Germain, running 15th on track, first in the class. Dennis Crowe 17th on track and second in the class. Alessandro Manetti 19th on track and third in the class. Zendarua just going past him, it looks. Zendarua now into the top 20 on the fight back. This is lap 5 of a 16-lap final. Ben Cooper, the world number 1, posting the best lap of the race on that lap, 55.871. Coming back into my sight once again, Sean Babington's lead over Mika Laiho is, well, we can call it a second. It's 0.988 of a second, which as near as damn it is a second. Patrick Pearce is 0.66 of a second away in third place behind Mika Laiho's second place. And Ben Cooper gains another place and goes from 5th to 4th at the expense of Barry Pullinger. So Ben Cooper up now to 4th place and Barry Pullinger relegated to 5th. This is lap 6 of a 16-lap final. But the 1, 2, 3 and 4 are well spread. Sean Babington's lead, the biggest part of a full second. Mika Laiho got half a second and more on Paddy Pearce in third place. Barry Pullinger, however, surrendered 4th place to Ben Cooper, the world number 1, fighting back. This is the start of lap 7. Sean Babington took all before him last year in the British domestic racing, with the exception of just round 2 at Wackersdorf, Germany. Took all before him in the Rotax senior class in the Rotax Euro Challenge. Leading this one, Mika Laiho, little bit earlier on the brakes than Patrick Pearce, and Patrick Pearce gets a little bit closer therefore. Ben Cooper also getting a little bit closer, but still got about 5 kart lengths to make up, probably 6 or 7 kart lengths when we look on the last of those link straights in the long serpentine here at PF. Down onto the secondary back straight, sweeping round at turn 10. Well, Sean Babington's having a lonely race, but it's the sort of lonely race that he would have dreamed of. Dips his head low. 638. Sean Babington, 1.47 seconds to the good. But Patrick Pearce now climbing all over Mika Laiho, as the slightly unfortunate expression goes, but you know what I mean. All of this to the advantage of Sean Babington. All of this to the advantage of Ben Cooper, who's closer still in 4th place now. So, with Sean Babington a lead of about 15 kart lengths, Mika Laiho under pressure from Patrick Pearce under pressure from Ben Cooper. Behind those, the chasing pack is led by Andreas Bachmann 5th and Barry Pullinger 6th. Just briefly out of my sight, we do have a blind spot from where we are here at PF in the commentary box, but Sean Babington still clearly in the lead, Mika Laiho still second, Patrick Pearce still third, and Ben Cooper, the Canadian driver with the Union flag on top of his helmet, and Patrick Pearce looking for a way through. I don't think there was one. It was one, and Patrick Pearce does go second. Well, as they went under the bridge, Paddy Pearce feinted as if to say, I want to make that move. No, it wasn't to move. It wasn't to move past. And there goes Ben Cooper into third place. Ben Cooper into third place. So Patrick Pearce's attempted move on Mika Laiho failed. And with him getting himself just that tiny, tiny little bit vulnerable, Ben Cooper punishes him and goes third as we're about halfway round. The passing move was about a third of the way round, lap 9. We are into the second half of the race. Fastest lap goes to Andreas Bachmann, 55.69. Coming round to start the 10th lap, Sean Babington's lead is 1.8 seconds. Mika Laiho trying to ensure that Ben Cooper can't close in on him too quickly, but Ben Cooper having just done a 55.89, but that included the passing move, and here is Ben Cooper bidding to go second and goes second. So Ben Cooper goes into second place on lap 10. So the world number one has got a lot of tarmac in front of him that he's got to reel in before he can make a passing move on Sean Babington. Ben Cooper second, Mika Laiho third, Patrick Pearce fourth, Andreas Bachmann fifth, Barry Pullinger sixth, Seamus Udavicius seventh, Pascal Marshall eighth, the defending champion Matthias Detige ninth, and Kevin Ludi, the Swiss driver for Spirit Racing, in 10th place. Fighting back from that early disaster, Kasen Derua is up into 14th place. In fact, he's just had another pass. That's to 13th place. Lucas Orrock 14th. In the Masters class, Alessandro Manetti leads. Dennis Kroos is second, and Chris Adams third. And we've got a lot of pressure now on Ben Cooper. As I was looking at the Masters, Matthias Detige has gone second, but he's got that wrong. And Paddy Pearce has taken Matthias Detige and himself right to the wide outside of the turn. And what has that done? It's just given the world number one a gap as big as a barn door. And so Ben Cooper says, fair enough, Paddy. If that's what you're going to do, I'll drive through that gap and back into second place. They worked hard to pull back Ben Cooper and get in front of him. It lasted just the blinking, the twinkling of an eye. But who's the big beneficiary? Sean Babington, setting off on lap 12 with 4.5 seconds lead. Ben Cooper having fallen back massively in the blind spot, certainly having got through when we saw the guys coming together, has fallen back dramatically and almost to the point where at 3/4 race distance you're going to say he's not going to be able to win the race from there. So Sean Babington making hay while the sun shines, except that the sun's not shining at PF. Big lead, 4.5 seconds over Barry Pullinger second, and the gutsy Patrick Pearce in third place, trying to repair the harm that he kicked out just a couple of laps ago. Mika Laiho fourth, Andreas Bachmann fifth. This is the start of lap 13. I say again, it's a lonely drive by Sean Babington, but it's the sort of lonely drive that he must have dreamt about. Barry Pullinger, Paddy Pearce still holding those stations despite the pressure of Patrick Pearce. Although just having a look, it looks to me now as if Patrick Pearce is getting closer. Not really. Barry Pullinger looking over his shoulder at length in kart 631. Mika Laiho closing in on them in fourth place. Sean Babington's lead on lap 13 is over 5 seconds. Fastest lap set by Senderuva, 55.4. And Senderuva still only in 13th place. Masters still led by Alessandro Manetti, 15th on track. Second is Dennis Kroos, 18th on track. And third is Chris Adams, 24th on track. Sean Babington begins his 14th lap of 16 and the lead is 5.3 seconds. Barry Pullinger is in second place. Patrick Pearce is in third place. Ben Cooper, the world number one, back in 7th place, and he's 7 full seconds adrift of Sean Babington. If Sean Babington was ever going to beat, and Sean Babington looking over towards the oncoming drivers, he must feel, I never expected a lead of this magnitude. I'll just drive home from here. It's almost an informality or a formality. Miko Laiho going up into third place. Miko Laiho going third place past Patrick Pearce. Almost a formality for Sean Babington, except that this is the time when you get a bit anxious. As Alex Ferguson would say, squeaky bum time. This is the time when things can go awfully wrong. Sean Babington has 2 laps to go to win the DD2 final. Barry Pullinger is in a relatively safe second place. Paddy Pearce holding on to that third place as against Andreas Bachmann. Seamus Udavicius up into 5th place for the tall Lithuanian. And Mika Lai, who I think called making that move when I rather think I probably was looking at Andreas Bachmann. And there goes the same move. This is Andreas Bachmann. Andreas Bachmann now into third place. Patrick Pearce, and getting a little bit of a love tap that he would have welcomed to not have. Coming round to complete the 15th lap. The race leader has over 5.5 seconds to the good. Those coming down towards you on screen are led by Barry Pullinger, 6.31. Paddy Pearce in third place at the start of the lap is now in 4th. But Sean Babington sets off on his final lap. Our RGMMC TV pictures show you the massive gap in his favour. It's 6.2 seconds. Barry Pullinger still second. Andreas Bachmann still third. Ben Cooper showing us why he's the number one, because he's gone from 8th to 4th in relative quick time. But 4th is not where Ben would have wanted to finish this one. Well, it's a good scrap behind for these minor placings, but let us do justice to Sean Babington. He's going through the long chicane onto the outer, the second part of the back straight, coming towards you on screen, those of you watching RGMMC TV, sweeping round to the most northerly part of the circuit, come back into view with the naked eye, a right and a left to go, onto the home straight. Your winner by a mile is Sean Babington. Sean Babington wins the DD2 final. And a good little drive into second place by Barry Pullinger. Andreas Bachmann getting third. Ben Cooper getting 4th. Seamus Udavicius 5th. Matthias Detige 6th. Mika Laiho 7th. Pascal Marshall 8th. Paddy Pearce very, very much deserving better than 9th, and Senderuva deserving better than 10th, but Senderuva going 10th from 22nd. In Masters, Alessandro Manetti wins it, Dennis Kroos is second, and Christoph Adams third. Well done to Sean Babington. It's one thing to win a final. To win a final by 6 seconds, absolutely astounding. Sheila and Brian in Western Australia in Perth. Was it worth being in front of your screens? Yes, it was. There's the answer. So, on RGMMC TV, we have the countdown. Sean Babington the winner by 6.2 seconds. Barry Pullinger second. Swedish driver Andreas Bachmann has a very, very good finish to this weekend, third. Ben Cooper, I would love to know the story of how he fell back into 8th place. He came home 4th. Seamus Udavicius, in a not exceptional weekend by his standards, finished the final in 5th. Matthias Detige, the defending champion, the Belgian, coming home in 6th place. Mika Laiho, who is the man of few words but delivers on track, the vice champion last year from Finland, coming 7th. Pascal Marshall, 8th for Germany. Patrick Pearce, going to feel he worked so hard for better than that 9th place, but that's what he's going to have to be satisfied with. And Senderuva going from the front down to 22nd, coming home in the top 10. Alexander Finkelstein, having had to start all of his heats in last place, eventually finishes the weekend just outside the top 10 in 11th place. Lucas Orrick, who had horrendous problems of not of his own making, gets a very creditable 12th place in those circumstances. Well, Alessandro Manetti in 15th place won the Masters category. Next in the Masters was Dennis Kroos, 19th on track, but second in the Masters. And third was Chris Adams, 25th on track, third in Masters.